Americans For Fair Taxation presents the Weekly Chairman's Report, written by Steve Hayes, president of Americans For Fair Taxation, and recorded by Bob Paxton, a volunteer with the Florida FAIRtax Educational Association. And now, this week's Chairman's Report.
Hello, I'm Bob Paxton with the AFFT Chairman's Report for Friday, June 14th, 2019. A question often asked at public meetings while discussing the fair tax is, why doesn't business support the fair tax? Of course, many business owners do support the fair tax and advocate for it. Now, logically, there are many reasons why businesses of all sizes should support the fair tax. First, it eliminates the need to collect and remit income payroll taxes from employees. It eliminates the need to spend countless dollars just doing the accounting and paying for tax advice. It takes all of the embedded cost of the income tax system out of both retail and wholesale prices, thus bringing the cost of doing business down. The fair tax eliminates the advantages currently given to imports competing against U.S. products. It removes the cost of the U.S. income payroll tax system from the prices of exported goods, thereby making U.S. products more competitive in the global marketplace. The fair tax eliminates the uncertainty plaguing U.S. business of not knowing what tax policy will be in future years, and it eliminates the factors inhibiting the growth of the U.S. economy and will lead to more profits and more markets for business. Now let's look at the elite tax professional influence. As someone who for many years made a very good income advising people how to pay less taxes, I understand why many people who work in the tax preparation industry are happy with the current income tax. The present income payroll tax system provides them with a substantial income, and it's also a fun game to many tax professionals. They spend their time getting paid to solve problems for people who will pay them large amounts of money and hang on to their every word as they advise their clients on how to pay less in taxes. Now, I'm not referring to the people who work for the tax preparation firms and who mostly deal with families earning under $100,000 a year. The elite professionals I'm talking about charge as much as $1,200 per hour and work for the wealthy taxpayers who can justify paying that much for tax advice. Chetan Vagholkar is a partner in the international tax practice of KPMG LLP and is based in the firm's Houston office. He wrote an article entitled Tax Reform, an Opportunity for Tax Professionals. It was published on June 5th, 2019 in the Houston Chronicle. In his article, Mr. Vagholkar stated, "The greatest change was corporate tax rates being lowered to a flat 21% on all income. Tax reform also gave additional benefits in the form of an additional deduction for certain small business-oriented companies. The tax code was complicated before tax reform and has become exponentially more complicated since. Regulation and guidance were slow to be issued, but now in the past few months, we have seen over 1,000 pages of guidance come through from the government. This is an exciting time for our industry. As tax professionals, we have an exceptional once-in-a-career opportunity to be part of a major restructuring of the U.S. tax code." The author is clearly excited about the great career opportunity provided by the recent income payroll tax reform, and while I don't know him, I am confident that he, like many of the tax professionals with whom I have worked, is not only a decent person, but also very intelligent. These tax professionals see their activities as necessary to the survival of their clients, and because of the income payroll tax system, they're right. If a business can reduce its tax burden by 15%, this is a reduction in costs which, after deducting the cost of the advice, can still increase profits. Of course, when the fair tax replaces the income payroll tax system, the need to pay huge amounts for this type of tax advice is eliminated, and the company can then redirect its resources to producing better products and being a better business. In addition, the company will have another benefit, knowing that what they do today will not be wrecked by Congress tomorrow, nullifying all of their hard work and projections. For example, many business decisions have to consider the economic impact on the business and how the decision affects the amount of income tax it will pay. Every day, businesses decide to invest in a particular type of plant, expecting the income tax savings to help pay for the cost of the plant. They are forced to rely on current income tax law, but as we have repeatedly seen, Congress changes the income tax provisions all the time. If a change eliminates the income tax benefits a business was counting on, they're stuck. They still have to follow through with their plans, but they have fewer income tax savings dollars to use. The effect is that the business becomes less profitable and less stable. In surveys of business owners, large and small, one of the top items they all want is stability and predictability in their tax situation. With the income tax and the constant changes Congress makes to it, that's impossible. As history has shown, politicians, lobbyists, and weak, short-term thinking feeds the frenzy to constantly manipulate the income payroll tax system. Perhaps the most harmful action of the elite tax professionals is that they have helped businesses interpret the tax code in such a way that the owners and decision makers believe they are paying less in taxes. They don't feel the pain that those of us who cannot afford to pay for elite professional tax advice do feel. We all know that the bigger businesses in this country could demand that Congress and the President scrap the present system. They have the resources and the influence to make that happen. In conclusion, the elite tax professionals are working with the existing system. Almost all of them are intelligent and good people who see their role as valuable and essential to the well-being of their clients. However, they are essential in their role only as long as we the people allow the swamp to impose the yoke of the income payroll tax system around our necks. When we put personal interests aside and look at the value to the nation as a whole, everyone will say, it's time to pass the fair tax.
This has been the Weekly Chairman's Report, written by Steve Hayes, President of Americans For Fair Taxation. Check back every week for news and information about the fair tax and learn why the fair tax should replace our antiquated federal income tax system. If you'd like to receive a copy of the Chairman's Report in your inbox every week, sign up at fairtax.org or bigsolution.org.